to any music that wants to call itself Christian, you know, even before you begin to put notes and melodies behind it. I think that's the key element.
Okay, great. You want to add something to that, Nicholas?
Sure. I think that it's both for me equally. I think that one's heavily dependent on the other on both sides. I think that the message is very important, absolutely. And I think what it is you're trying to convey, you know, what image you present, matters quite a bit. But, you know, if you have, I guess a musician's term is dissonant sounds, or, you know, stuff that doesn't sound good, nobody's going to want to listen to it and hear that message, you know. And on the other hand, I've listened to some great music and shut it off after 5 seconds because of the language, you know. And so I would say it's, for me, it's an equal measure of both.
Okay.
And I think both are important.
Good.
Because music can be, when you hear music, you know, separate from lyrics, it also conveys emotion. It also tells a story on its own. You know, you have feelings because of what you hear, and everybody reacts differently. You know, but if you play any instrumental, there's a feeling that you're going to get. Right. You know, so that also is a message in and of itself. Yeah. You know, because and to you, you know, to the person expressing it, yeah, I guess that's all I had.
Yeah, that's important, because even when we have some of these instrumentals, you know, there's times when I've heard instrumentals and I've literally heard words come out of it. Does that make sense? Somebody can just be playing instrumentals and all of a sudden I'll begin to hear words, you know, minister to me. So you think it's the music, but, you know, nobody's saying anything, and yet the music itself, you know, also has a voice. So I agree with you both, that I do believe that the music is very important, like you said, Amadi, because number one, it represents the messenger as much, and the lifestyle of the messenger. Because to me, if you have a heart of greed, or if you're doing it for just the money, most of your things are going to be produced pretty quickly, you know, and it's, the message and the music will probably have that same scent on it, you know. All right, well, let's go ahead and talk about where you feel your area of music, Amadi, where you feel it's going. Do you know any history about it? How do you feel that it's affecting the generation to come?
Right now, I mean, in the genre or whatever of Christian rap, I know lately it's just kind of been getting its footing on the big stage, so to speak. A lot of Christian rap artists are I mean, Christian rap's been around for like 25 years. People don't know that. People think it's new. But you got a lot of Christian rappers that are finally starting to really, you know, make it big in the industry, so to speak. And if that's your goal, you know, this is a good opportunity for that. I think it's still a music that speaks to, you know, a particular people group that no other Christian music can speak to. And because of that, I think it's still very key to the advancement of the Lord's kingdom. And how it's affecting the future generations, I mean, just that, you know, the way that hip-hop speaks, because hip-hop is different from pretty much any other music, because for the most part, you're speaking, you know, and so you're able to literally talk to people, you know, talk directly to people, because if you take the music away from hip-hop, you're talking. And so you're able to convey a message, and a lot of things, and I mean, parents know this, teachers realize this, a lot of messages, negative messages, get conveyed more easily through hip hop music than they do through other genres of music. So you have a lot of these different mindsets and paradigms that are easily conveyed through hip hop to younger generations, and, you know, have pretty much perverted a lot of things. So, you know, using that particular vehicle to advance God's kingdom, I believe, is critical because of the way that it speaks to that people group, you know, the way that other music doesn't. It's like And even more so, it speaks to men in a particular way. If you go to any church function doing anything, it's going to be 90% women in there. But if you go to a Christian rap event anywhere in the country and anywhere in the world, it's going to be probably 90% men there.
Why do you think that's the case?
Because of the way hip hop affects the male differently than it does the female. Now, I don't know if it has to do with the aggressiveness of it, the masculinity of it, or whatever it is in the music, it draws men in droves. And so you can do things in ministry through hip hop that you just can't do. And as much as we, try to deny it and, kind of push hip hop to the secondary tier in terms of ministry, there's nothing else that the church does that you see when you look out. Look at all these men in here, young men, older men, and you see women here and there, but it's the way that it attracts men. And so I believe it's even a plan of the enemy to keep our mindset to the point where we keep hip hop on a second tier, like, oh, we'll just put it out there for the kiddies. But the what I've seen in my 10 or 12 years of doing this type of ministry is how it affects males differently than it affects females. So I believe it's critical moving forward for this generation and future generations.
But don't you believe most of the, what I consider well-established hip-hop artists are middle age, in their 30s, late 30s, probably early 40s?
Yeah, and I tell this to a lot of different ministers I know, pastors I know. We just assume hip hop is for the young people, and I tell them just that. I say, do you know Snoop Dogg's almost 40, and Ice Cube and Eminem and all these, Jay-Z, all these guys are well into their 30s. There are no young, really, really young rappers. Most of the well-established rappers are older guys. Now you have young rappers, but they're not the big ones. The big ones are older, much older. I'm about to turn 30, and most of those guys are 5 to 10 years older than me, and they're still rapping. And those are the guys who are selling, Diddy, all those guys, they're almost 40, and those are the guys that are selling the millions and millions of CDs. So I think, we as the body of Christ need to change how we view, hip-hop music, because hip-hop started when I was a kid and probably the generation before me, when we were children in the mid to late 70s. Those people are now in their late 30s, early 40s, and they still listen to rap music. Those are the people who are buying CDs and paying $50 for concert tickets. Those are the individuals that keep that industry going. So we got to get out of the mindset of, oh, it's just the little teenagers. Teens don't have jobs.
The amazing thing about it is so funny. When somebody sends me an invitation to Facebook, I always check to see, what they put for religion, what they put for, just to see, how they view themselves. And Chuck Brown seemed to appear on most of the pages that my friends, I'm thinking, Chuck Brown? I'm like, what? So I just think that's hilarious because, everybody remember Chuck Brown, but back in the go-go days. But he's like still a icon to a lot of people. And I mean, these are older people, in their 40s and early 50s. Nick, I don't know how much exposure you've had to hip hop, but do you have any insights to the history, how it got started? Have anything about it affected you one way or the other? Because I know you sort of have giftings in other areas as well. But I just want to give you time to compliment that.
Well, I do listen to hip hop. I'm aware of all these artists that he's mentioned. I also listen to Christian hip hop on a level that most people don't think I have. But it's I have a good friend of mine that listens to it quite a bit, even more so than I do, and kind of downloads the latest stuff and gives it over to me on the sly. But your question.
I was just wondering if you had any other insights into how you feel it's going.
Sure. I
it's
think
affecting the generations or the future of the generation.
Sure. I think that Amadi's right in the fact that it's become kind of an ageless thing. As far as a consumer base of people who buy CDs, he's right. The teenagers are the ones that are in school and possibly not working, or have to scrounge up money from the couch to go get a CD. But a lot of the people that are buying them now are in their 20s, that are a little more mature.